Hello friends, I hope you all are doing good. We are discussing the analog communication and in that we are discussing the amplitude modulation. Now I am going to discuss the various generation methods for amplitude modulation. To discuss the generation methods for amplitude modulation, you must know what is amplitude modulation first. So I have already discussed the amplitude modulation in my previous video. I hope you have seen those videos. If not, I'll give you the basic information about amplitude modulation in this video also. After that, we are going to see some practical circuitry and its mathematical representation and how we can generate the AM wave practically. So now if I classify the amplitude modulation generation, I'll classify into two types. So first is higher modulating index and second is low modulating index method. So we are discussing just the lower modulating index method because these are having some basic circuitry which everyone can understand. Higher modulating index methods are having some advanced circuitry. So starting with the amplitude modulation. So amplitude modulation is the change in the amplitude of the carrier signal with respect to the information signal or the message signal. So the message signal is responsible for the change in the amplitude of the carrier signal. So now we are going to see it practically. So I have classified the generation techniques into two types and further I am discussing only the low modulation index. In that I am going to discuss square law modulation and switching modulation. So when I talk about the generation of AM waves, there is a very important block in the circuitry of generation of AM wave, which is the non-linear device. So the non-linear device is the device which is having the non-linear relationship between the current and the voltage. So I can say non-linear device is having non-linear relationship between current and voltage. So if I ask you to give me some example of non-linear device, so I hope you can guess it. It is the diode or BJT, bipolar junction transistor. So now non-linear device is important block of the generation of the AM wave. So now first we are going to discuss the square law modulation. So first we are discussing the circuit of square law modulation. As I already told you, there is a non-linear device in the generation of AM waves. So one block would be the non-linear device. You can take it anything, the diode, the transistor or anything. After that we have a adder. So we have two inputs to the adder. First is the information signal, which is xt, and second is the carrier signal. So carrier signal is represented using AC cos omega ct. I hope you remember this. So now these two blocks are combined and it is connected to a LC oscillator. Now it is connected to a RL circuit and from there I am getting the output voltage. So the output voltage is my amplitude modulated wave. So here I am getting V2t and here I am getting V1t. So now this is my circuit of the square law modulation. So first I have this adder. The xt is the information signal, ct is the carrier signal. Both are getting added in this adder. So this is the voltage which we have here. So VIT would be the summation of ct and xt. After that we have a non-linear device. So non-linear device would change the output in accordance to this relation. So the V2t would be equal to a V1t plus B V1 square t. So this is the relationship between V2T and V1T in accordance to the nonlinear device. So I hope you can see this is the nonlinear relationship. Here I have the square of input voltage as well. So after that we have an LC oscillator. So the LC oscillator is tuned at the frequency FC. It is tuned at FC frequency, and thus it acts as a band pass filter. So now we'll see the working in detail. So if I talk about the working, I should know first the V2T, the output voltage. The output voltage is dependent upon the V2T. So V2T would be equal to A V1T plus B V1 square T. So first I need to know what is V1T, then only I can find out V2T. So V1T is the summation of XT plus AC cos omega CT. So this is my carrier. So now I should know the V2T. So V2T would be A of XT plus AC cos omega CT plus B of XT plus AC cos omega CT square. So now I'll just simplify it. So it would be A of XT plus AAC cos omega CT plus B of, I can expand this square, so it would be X square T plus AC square cos square omega CT plus 2 XT AC cos omega CT. So now what I did, I just expanded this square term. So now I'll get the V2T as A of XT plus AAC cos omega CT plus BX square T plus BAC square cos square omega CT plus 2B XT AC cos omega CT. So now I am getting all of these values, all of these signals at V2T. So after that I have this LC oscillator which is working as a band pass filter and it is tuned at FC frequency. So now if I see the graph, so it has the maxima at FC and I am taking the bandwidth to be 2 FM. So here I will be having FC plus FM and here I will be having FC minus FM. So this is the graph of this band pass filter. So it will only pass the frequencies which are centered around FC. So now I'll see all of these terms. So these terms, this V2 is going from here, but this circuit is only allowing the frequencies which are centered around FC. So this signal is a low frequency signal. I know my message signal is a low frequency signal. So now this would not be allowed to go from here to here. So the output voltage would not contain this signal. So this signal is cancelled at the output. After that we'll see this signal. So now this is centered around omega C, which is FC. So now yes, this signal will pass this band pass filter. After that again this signal is X square T. XT is a low frequency signal. Similarly X square T is a low frequency signal. So this is also getting rejected. After that I have cos square omega CT. Cos square omega CT is a high frequency signal. So I hope you can see I can represent cos square omega CT as 1 plus cos 2 omega CT. So now cos of 2 omega CT would be high frequency and this 1 represents the low frequency. So all over this signal is cancelled out and after that I have 2BXT AC cos omega CT. So it is coming in between this range. So now I can say this signal will also pass. So it has the frequency FC and plus minus FM. So now this signal will pass. So I have the V output T. So if I represent the V output T, which signals I have? I have AAC cos omega CT plus 2BXT AC cos omega CT. So now I can take AAC cos omega CT common. So now here I am left out with 1 and here I am left out with 2B upon A XT. So cos omega T AC I have already taken outside, so I am left out with 2B upon A XT. So if I remember the standard equation for amplitude modulation, so modulation wave is represented, modulated signal is represented like 1 plus m of xt, I hope you remember this, into AC cos omega ct. So now if I compare mt with V output T, I have the same signal. So this is my amplitude modulated signal. So now I hope you can see what is the modulation index. The modulation index m is given by 2b upon a. So now this is my modulation index for this modulated amplitude modulated signal. So now I hope you are clear about the circuitry and the mathematical part, how I can generate the amplitude modulated signal with the help of square law modulation. I am stopping my discussion here for this video. In my next video I'll be discussing about the switching modulator. So stay tuned for that video. I hope you like this video. If you like it, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel and push the like button. Thank you.